Hi, welcome. I'm Eric Linter with Star Speak for the second half of March 2018. This has been a challenging month here in New England with blizzards and more on the way, and the stars reflect these dynamics. We have a lot of energy to work with. We have a lot of tension to somehow direct into a constructive purpose. And as this forecast begins, the moon is waning. There will be a new moon on St. Patrick's Day, Saturday the 17th, and that's a new moon in the morning at 26 degrees of Pisces, which should be a fabulous and uplifting, inspirational union of the moon and the sun. The same day, Mars arrives in Capricorn, the sign of its exaltation, which essentially means that Mars becomes more effective, more efficient, more purposeful in this sign connected with Saturn. Saturn tones down Mars' wild child energy and helps in a mature way to funnel anger, aggression, and again, raw energy towards things that become useful, that really, in a step-by-step way, can contribute to some greater purpose, some future success. So, again, Mars really benefits from the patience of Saturn and the tenacity. Spring begins on Tuesday, the 20th. The vernal equinox is when the sun arrives in Aries and a new astrological year begins. So Happy New Year to all you astrology buffs. This is a day where Mercury is also in a conjunction with Venus in Aries. And interestingly, Mercury is now slowing down. So I anticipate a lot of reunions for a great many people during this latter part of March. Mercury, when it does retrograde a couple of days later, on Thursday the 22nd, is also going to serve a very useful purpose. Each retrograde really gives us a chance for greater integration, assessment, an idea of looking back at recent events and in some way incorporating what we have learned, reappraising our situation. And of course, the strong possibility that we're going to hear from folks from the past. Now, another likely result of this particular Mercury retrograde is that a project that has been sitting on the back burner may again come to a simmer and move back into prominence. So, again, think about what you perhaps have let slide, and there could be an opportunity either now or in the coming weeks, because this is the start of roughly a 3-week Mercury retrograde, to revitalize something and to perhaps flesh it out and turn it into something of greater interest, of enjoyment, of value. Venus is in a testing angle with Pluto on Friday evening, the 23rd of March. And here jealousy may raise its head. People can be needy or controlling. Be passionate, but, be considerate, be wise. There are helpful alignments from the moon that should help sort of keep tongue-in-cheek humor alive, and we can look at things with a little greater degree of acceptance and a broadness of vision that can help really overcome some of the more petty emotions that are likely to come with Venus squaring Pluto. Challenges continue, though, as the sun tangles with Mars in a square on Saturday, the 24th. And, here we have the two male archetypes basically confronting one another in potentially unpleasant ways. It's wise to watch your temper, also to slow down. If you're dealing, especially with men, you may want to be adaptable and consider different strategies, because sometimes, anger can definitely be detrimental, whether it's to a relationship or just to getting things accomplished. It's sort of a great aspect for hitting your finger with a hammer. So just a little more patience can go a long way towards offsetting some of the challenges of this particular square. There are a few quiet days, and then a rather magical pairing of Venus with Uranus comes on Wednesday the 28th. This can be a love at first sight alignment, and another possibility is hearing from an old friend, someone who has not been on the scene for a long time, could reappear. On the other hand, somebody new could walk into your life, and it could be the start of a fabulous friendship or other kind of relationship. Another challenging aspect follows. The Sun tests Saturn on Thursday the 29th. This is during the morning, but it's a reality check kind of square. We get 2 of these a year, and this particular aspect with the Sun in Aries and Saturn in Capricorn calls for a reassessment of purpose, of strategy, and maybe creating some new game plan or some new goals around this time. Now, the moon is waxing full, and the month will end with the second full moon of March. This would be a blue moon. It's a full moon in Libra, exact the morning of the 31st, and it's part of a very powerful configuration because while a full moon is in opposition between the Sun and Moon, Mars and Saturn are both close together in Capricorn and in square to the Sun and Moon. We call this a T-square configuration. So again, a huge amount of dynamic energy. It does need careful handling. A release point in a T-square would be the 4th unoccupied point on the chart wheel, which in this case is the sign Cancer. And I think all of us are going to do well if we remember that we are one family on this planet, that we should treat other people in a loving and caring manner, and with a great degree of compassion and nurturing intention, we can again make something meaningful of what can be a very challenging alignment. It's a huge amount of energy. The question always becomes one of what do we do with it? So be alert, be aware, again if necessary, use breathing, meditation, try to stay calm, and remember that love is the force that does bring unity to us all. Well, that'll do it for the month of March, and I want to thank you for being with me today, and also remind you to keep looking up.